Hey everyone, welcome to day 2. I'm on my way to the gym, which reminded me that we have a workout this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. at the studio, so you better be there. So in addition to going over the Waltz today, I thought I'd intro what that workout looks like. Okay guys, I'm at the studio now and I wanted to talk to you for a second about these workout classes that are starting this weekend, Saturday, 9:30 a.m. here at the Lakeview studio. Number one, these classes are about making you stronger as a dancer. So we're gonna work on all the things that are required. Well, not all of them necessarily, but I would say the 4 most important things that are required to be a really good dancer. Some notes before we start talking about those elements. 1, these classes are gonna be done barefoot or in socks. So if you're gonna wear socks, make sure you've got some with like little sticky nubs on the bottom. 2, bring a yoga mat or something like that so you can cushion yourself against the floor for some floor work we're doing. These are gonna be difficult classes, but they are scalable to any level. So everyone should feel like they're working pretty damn hard. And I think that's it. Why don't we start going over some of these exercises? Okay, the 4 elements that we're gonna be focusing on in these classes are breath, foot and ankle stability, leg strength, and core strength and stability. What I wanna do now is give you guys some exercises that you can use at home to prep for these upcoming classes. Here we go. Number 1 is breath, because breath is the most important thing for us as dancers, because breath is what fuels the dance. And chances are that most of you don't ever really think about your breathing. What I wanna do is talk about 3 different ways that we can breathe as dancers and focus on the one way that we should be breathing most of the time when we're dancing. So with breath, the 3 ways. 1 is that we can breathe just in our upper lungs. 1 is that we can use all of our lungs. And the 3rd one, is that we can use our lungs and our stomach to breathe. We're gonna be in the middle most of the time. So the upper breath, this is kind of when we're panting or we're hyperventilating. This is a very efficient way of getting a lot of oxygen into your system. So when you're out of breath, when you danced a ton, you danced really hard, you're probably gonna find yourself breathing this way just to kind of normalize your body. That is kind of like I said, panting, like I said, so you'd feel more like you're doing this. Not really what we wanna be doing while we're dancing. The middle one, if you put your hands on your ribs like this, you wanna breathe into your hands, your palms and your fingers, and you wanna expand your rib cage outward in all dimensions as best you can. I'd say breathe through your nose with this one. That's the one I want you guys to focus on. Okay, the other one is that we breathe into our belly as well as into our lungs. So we breathe into our lungs first, we relax our stomach and let our diaphragm drop, and this is a great way of getting a lot of oxygen to our system, although it's kind of a slow and laborious way of breathing. So if I breathe into my lungs, relax my stomach and breathe into my stomach, my diaphragm drops and it fills up absolutely everything. Well, number 2 is what we want to focus on, so if you guys could do that breathing exercise, that'd be great. Okay, next, for foot and ankle stability. Pretty easy exercise, let me show it to you really quick. I'm gonna do this, just go up into releve, up onto your toes, and do this very, very slowly. So we wanna be able to mid-place on our foot. We can also choose to roll on the outside edges of our feet and on the inside edges as well. So we've got 3 different ways to do that. The slower you do that, the better, and the more control, because that's really what we're going for there, is control through your feet and ankles. Now we get to our legs, and this is really when our heart rate is gonna get up, because we're gonna use these big muscles here. One exercise you can do to get ready for these classes are these kind of air squats. So you're gonna crease first at the hips, so you stick your butt out, and you're gonna lower down. You can counterbalance your body with your arms, and you wanna go down like this. You can hold it, or you can just do repetitions. I would recommend doing both. The holding one looks like this. So you would lower yourself and put your arms out, and then you're gonna try to push your knees back and sit down, and you can lower and arch your upper body back. Got it? The last thing, and this is probably the thing we all need to work on the most, is core exercises. And we're gonna be doing a bunch of planks. So plank is this. I'm sure you guys have seen them before. You can do push-up plank, or you can do just the regular plank like this. So the idea is I'm squeezing my core, I'm squeezing my glutes, I'm squeezing all of my muscles, and I'm gonna hold this for as long as I can, preferably 30 seconds to a minute. Do me a favor, Comment on this video about which of those exercises you found the most challenging. This will help me better prepare for the class. Let's go do some dancing now. Okay, so today the idea is that we're gonna go over one new step in Waltz, and I'm gonna talk about technique. I meant to talk about technique yesterday and I totally forgot, so we're just gonna do it today. The new step is another type of box. It's called a right box. It's gonna kind of mess with your head a little bit, especially when you start rotating it, because it's the exact opposite to the left box, but don't worry, a little practice will take you past that. Here we go, let's do it. Left box, left foot goes forward, and right foot goes back, right? So with the right box, and this is the leader's part here, with the right box, the right foot's gonna go forward, and then the left foot goes back. Timing is the same, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that about does it. Just like with the left box, the follower starts on the back half of the box and the leader starts on the front half of the box. Now let's get to technique. Technique is important because just like with the time signature of the music, the technique is what makes the dance look like what it looks like. So the technique is vitally important here. With Waltz, we have something called rise and fall, and that gives it this kind of up and down wavy feel, which I think feels so good. Let me show you how that works. So we had 3 beats of music in Waltz, 1, 2, 3. The accent is on the 1. That's where we're sending all of our energy out. That's where we take our first step. And we're gonna be low and crouched at that point. So before I even move in Waltz, I've already found my low point. So I don't wanna be from neutral, and then when I hear 1 lower, I wanna be lowered already on 1. So when I take my step on 1, I don't rise and fall at all. I go flat out. As I go to 2, I start going up a little bit, and then as I come to 3, that's my highest point, and then I lower again because now we have 1 moving backwards. So I'm low, and I'm not gonna get any lower than this. I take my step on 1, I'm not going up and down yet. 2, I start going up a little bit. 2 into 3, I'm up all the way. End of 3, I lower, and I'm ready to take it. Now this seems pretty straightforward and simple, right? But when you start moving down the floor, the energy of the dance will carry you forward, and it'll make you want to take the step and lower at the same time. So this is something that you're gonna have to drill and spend some time on. And I'm happy to help you guys with this. If you have some questions, just leave a comment below.